Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the office. Welcome to the morning grind. It is great to see you this morning. I hope everybody's doing great. I'm feeling really good this morning. There's a lot to do, but I'm feeling like I'm going to be able to tackle the world and get a lot done today. I need to. Let's see who's here. Dungeon Master is here. Good morning. James Bacon is here. BGD is here. Andrew is here. Mike is here. Oh, Dungeon Master is ready with a drink. I got water this morning. I really need it, so I got some water here. Zero the Blade, good morning. Good to see you. Everybody here. I am so glad to see everybody. Yes, we are going to be, I've got this other HeroQuest box here. So I figured, hey, it is time to unbox it. Here, let's see what I got here. This is the Jungles of Delthrak, the quest pack. So I was sent this as a review copy. Thank you very much to Kent over at Avalon Hill. So this one is still in shrink wrap, so we will open it up for the first time. I have not even read the back of the box. So we're going to be looking at it for the first time together. I did just glance at the back of the box, and it looks like it has raptors in it. So it looks like this game of HeroQuest actually has raptors. So we will see. So we're going to be unboxing this and taking an initial look at this and doing initial impressions. And I think at this point, BGD has mentioned that there seem to be a lot of HeroQuest expansions, and yes, we're going to take a look at them. I've gotten way behind in painting all of my HeroQuest expansions. I am nowhere near completely painting all of them. But then again, I'm also way behind on playing a bunch of them. We've been playing some in the virtual coffee shop, the online coffee shop, the Ravenkeep coffee shop. I guess we ought to call it the Ravenkeep coffee shop. And we are still been playing through the original quest pack, and I've still been playing through the original quest pack with my nephews as well. In fact, I was actually thinking that maybe I ought to text message my brother and say that, hey, I'm not going to be in. I don't have to work on Saturday, so maybe I should come over to his house and play a game of HeroQuest with the boys and try to move them through the core system, because there is definitely a lot of HeroQuest here. I have over here years and years worth of HeroQuest to be played at the current rate of playing. So yes, they are putting out a whole bunch of material here. And I thought we might review that for just a moment before we get started opening up this, because I went ahead and I brought over what I think are all of the HeroQuest expansion boxes that are sitting over here, and we could do a quick look at them. Let me see. I'm going to turn on the auxiliary camera here. Oh, let's breathe and sip before we get involved. Let's breathe and sip. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Is that for me? Oh, well, thank you, Mike. All right. Let's breathe and sip. I've got water this morning, which is brew cup. I need some water. Let's breathe and sip. 2 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, deep breaths in, complete exhales, and then take a sip of your favorite beverage this morning. So here we go. Let's breathe and sip. And sip. Very good this morning. How about double sip? Beach House and HeroQuest sounds like a lot of fun. So, yes, I'm going to bring up the auxiliary camera right here. There we go. Good morning, Yogg-Sothoth. BG says, we still want to announce the Ravenkeep Coffee Shop's regular offerings to Runejammer. That would be great if you can decide what you'd like to say and send me some messaging to distribute. Okay, I will. Okay. Maybe I can do that today. I plan on basically sitting here at the computer all day trying to get stuff done. So here, I need to. Let's see. And then also, there are people I've got to talk to. I believe I got into more art for the Cultist RPG, so I'm going to be reviewing that as well. So yeah, okay, so here is, like, I was taking a look at the different, I was like, okay, so what are the different expansions? So we've got Kalar's Keep. They come from a couple of different places, or you have a few different histories here. Kalar's Keep, and then where is, oh, right over here. So these two, as far as I'm concerned, are the classic expansions, or two of the classic expansions. And we looked at both of these, Kalar's Keep and Return of the Witch Lords. Like, so why does it seem like, man, they're all of a sudden all these HeroQuest? We went with a dearth of HeroQuest for a long, long time, and now we've got tons of them. So Kalar's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord. These were two that we looked at the original boxes. I had the original boxes of both of these when I was a kid, and I still have them over there in the living room as well. So the Return of the Witch Lord and Kalar's Keep, these were re-releases of original quest packs. So I played a lot of these as well. as a kid. So when we went through, I'm not sure that we played every single one of the core quests, because there's one that the nephews would play next that I don't think I've ever played before. I kind of think that my mother kind of skipped around a little bit. I don't think we necessarily played through every one of them completely in order. It's the one where you have to roll dice, because each room you go through magic doors and you're sent someplace. I don't think that's anything that I ever played. So that's a quest I don't think it was ever played. I'm going to run that one for the nephews next. But then we did play as a kid Return of the Witch Lord and Killar's Keep. I can't guarantee we played every single quest in here, but we did. But we did. So these are re-releases of original expansions right there. That's what those are. These two, are these the same box sizes? They feel a little bit different now. No, I guess they are. Okay, so same box sizes. So these two, I believe, came out with the Hasbro Pulse crowdfunding campaign. Spirit Queen's Torment and Prophecy of Telor. So these were releases there. We went through these. I mean, it is more quests here. If you are in need of a lot more HeroQuest, the Prophecy of Telor and the Spirit Queen's Torment are more quests. This one came with the Bard, and this one came with the Warlock. Okay, so Bard and Warlock got introduced here. We were a little bit, or I at least was a little bit disappointed with these sets, because this did come with like what looks like is supposed to be the fire creatures over here. So the creatures, which I still have sitting over there painting to be painted, or in the process of being painted. So I'm way behind on HeroQuest. But I was using some of the contrast paints on what looks like fire versions of these monsters and ethereal versions of these monsters. But we found out that in these boxes, they didn't have extra stats for or additional stats that made any kind of difference in the game. And I was kind of looking forward to, this would be kind of neat, something to kind of shake things up a little bit, because Return of the Witch Lord came with more standard undead, and then Killar's Keep came with more standard orcs. So it's very much like an expansion, more of what was in the core quest. This would have had an opportunity to kind of shake things up a little bit with fire creatures and ethereal monsters, but we didn't see it. So that was a little bit disappointing. So those were expansions that came out with the Pulse campaign. Then let's see, we had the Barbarian Quest Pack, the Frozen Horror Barbarian Quest Pack, which I never had as a kid, but this is a re-release, or the revamped, redone version of it. So there was Frozen Horror, which is the Barbarian Quest Pack. I would love to see a quest pack dedicated to each one of the heroes. But in old school gaming, we only had the Frozen Horror, and then we had the Mage of the Mirror. So they've re-released. Oh no, they have not that. So I guess the Wizards of Morcar is still to come. So as far as original quest packs that have not been released, so I suppose that Wizards of Morcar is still to come. But also the Mage in the Mirror. So this was the Elf quest pack right here. So they re-released both of these, and I remember playing some of these as a kid, or a little bit older than a kid actually, because I was looking online to try to get a hold of some of these quests. So those two were re-releases. So I was very glad to have these, because I never did have those as a kid. I just heard about them. We have Against the Ogre Horde. No, wait a minute. Was this an expansion? So yeah, this one should also have been. Wait a minute. I believe this is okay. So this is also a re-release, but the World's End Tournament, which is still something I want to try out with you guys, but the World's End Tournament is here, and that was added into this game. So this was a re-release, but it got stuff added into it. So far, of all the different HeroQuest releases they've done that we've just looked at right over there, there were only two that were like brand new, that otherwise they were re-releases. So it looks like there are two of the large size re-releases. So Rise of the Dread Moon. This is, did I paint this one up? Okay, no, I have not gotten to paint this one yet. So Rise of the Dread Moon is new. And this one came in with a whole lot of other news, a lot of other rules. So this one definitely expanded the game and took it forward. Now, see, we were talking about how HeroQuest is very, like, one-off, instead of being a system that is really expandable. So everything is so this was more, you're talking about rules that, okay, this says you can do this. This says you can do this, rather than having a bunch of systematic rules. So this one expands the rule system. And I remember talking about, I think there's like this one definitely expanded HeroQuest in a new way. I remember, like, new rules, new environments, new situations for heroes to be in. Very different than those Prophecy of Telor and the Spirit Queen. And even in that case, I suppose, Witch Lord and Killar's Keep, which were definitely kind of more of the same here. Which brings us to this one, which is today here, the Jungles of Delthrak. Which I'm not... What happened to my water? Oh, right here. Which brings us to the Jungles of Delthrak. This is an expansion to the game. Hey, let me... let Kent know that we are doing this. He may even want to be here live with us. I don't know if he can be or not. But let's go ahead and let me tell him that we're doing this. I am live with the Jungles of Delthrak. Just in case he would like to come by. Oh, hey, Brett. Okay, so let's see what this is all about. So he said this was an extremely innovative expansion. And I don't know. So I did receive this as a review copy. I'm not sure at this point if I would have gone out and picked this one up right now, because of that stack of HeroQuest expansions that I've got. I've got quite a stack of HeroQuest expansions over here, and I'm way behind in playing with my nephews. I went on a date last Thursday. Was that last? Yeah, so about a week ago. And I did say that, she is a dog. She said she is a dog person. I said, well, I am a board game person. I would need someone to play board games with. Because it's either the online game, the Raven Keep coffee shop, or playing with my nephews. But I was told this one's innovative, so I'm hoping. So they've got two different sizes of these expansions: the smaller ones and then the larger one. So this is a larger size box expansion. So it seems like traditionally with Frozen Horror, Rise the Dread Moon, Mage of the Mirror, Ogre Horde, we do get more stuff as far as rules for expansion, rules for an expansion that goes out. So let's see what is inside this one. It says, in the dense jungle surrounding the mountains at the world's edge, an ancient dwarven civilization finds new roots. A sacred artifact prized by the dwarven refugees of Kellar's Keep has been stolen, and a dread affliction racks the land. Oh, so this one ties into Kellar's Keep. A sacred artifact prized by the dwarven refugees of Kellar's Keep has been stolen, and a dread affliction racks the land. Crystalline growths have developed in the fauna of the jungle, and the creatures have gone into a frenzy. Venture into the perilous jungle ends to uproot the curse that has befallen the region. Vanquish evil, make bold choices, and follow your path to unique endings through an unprecedented choose-your-own-adventure mechanic. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, I wonder how that's going to go. That's very interesting. Hey, good morning, Robert. Good to see you. Good morning, Robert. So I think that's something that's desperately needed here. So this one is follow your path to unique endings through an unprecedented choose-your-own-adventure mechanic. Now I'm interested. Now I'm interested. Discover what vile secret looms beneath the canopy before all is lost. So this says it features 16 thrilling quests. Well, that is a lot. I mean, we got a lot of quests sitting over here for sure. But this one says that it includes 16 quests. How many are in the base game? It's not, I don't think it's even 16. I think it's like 14 or something. A choose your own adventure mechanic and the introduction of the Berserker and Explorer heroes. Okay, so we get 2 new heroes, Explorer and Berserker. And it does look like we have like raptor-like creatures here. A large ape. So, all right, this is okay. So we're taking HeroQuest into a new environment, and it looks like a new rule set. So, okay, so the large expansion boxes are the way to go with new rules. It looks like. Let's pop open the game here. All right, so what have we got? Okay, so first thing we've got is tokens, punch boards, spiders, snakes, like large centipede kind of monsters. We do have webs down here. Does anyone have this one? Have you gotten this one yet? Robert says AI update. If you're new here, Robert's been working with ChatGPT to create an AI choose your own adventure game in the style of Zork. So AI update. OpenAI has released GPT-4.0 Mini on API, cheaper than 3.5 Turbo, and tokens from 16K to 128K. Massive upgrade. Website version now produces quests and object modifiers. Really cool. Bacon says, dinosaurs and primates represented by multicolored minis. Well, I'm sold. That's what it looks like. Looks like ways to set down new rooms. We do have webs over here. I'm not sure what these are. Maybe these are supposed to be, maybe these are, well, I don't know. They do have squid lines on them. They're going to say maybe they're blocked. But this looks like new kinds of rooms to set down. So it wouldn't be rooms, it'd be outdoor environments, I suppose. Bridge here, wooden bridge. Got some weird skulls here and some fungus. And I guess this is also a large outdoor area. What's on the back of these? Oh, we got, yeah, more stuff on the back. Like indoor hut or something. Vines. All right. Yeah, that is a really thick quest book right here. Okay, we're not going to look at quests themselves. We're going to look at the new rules, but we're not going to look at any spoiler quests. Okay, we'll look at that last, though. So I'm going to set that over here. All right. So, okay, what have we got? Yeah, we definitely have, look, we got red and green. Yeah, these, they're feathered raptor-looking creatures. Can you see right here? I got feathered raptors. Red's traditionally a hero, so can you control one of these things? I do like that mini. I like that mini. There we go. There we go. That's nice. So it's also not your just absolutely standard, typical kind of raptor-looking creature. We'll see what it's called. But we got feathers and spikes. Let's see. I got. Do these go on here? Maybe. We've got some type of. Okay, some piece of the jungle, and then like crystals or something here. This looks like some kind of magic flame. That looks like how it's supposed to sit. So crystals and magic pain. Do I get pets? Oh, you're talking. Oh, in here, is it possible to get a pet? I don't know. So it could be like a pet dinosaur, Or maybe one of them controls one or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, so some translucent crystals here. What are these? That looks like a goblin. We got goblin here. Maybe some type of goblin sorceress, maybe, or shaman or witch doctor. Definitely another goblin here, this time with the boomerang. We'll find out what these are in a moment, but this looks like some kind of large tree creature. It's got a skull on it, but some type of tree creature. It also has crystals growing out of it. This is some type of creature in Hero Red. This must be the Berserker. We have male and female sculpts for the Berserker. Shield on the back in both cases. This must be the Explorer. Dwarven Explorer. Male and female sculpts. Backpack on the back. See what's under here before you look at the cards. Oh, yeah, okay, a lot more. Skeletal archer. 2 skeletal archers. Treasure pile. We got a box of crystals, treasure chest, and vase. Some kind of naga right here. Double-spaced creature, some type of naga. Hey, good morning, Sable. Good to see you. So this HeroQuest box is definitely not more of the same. And also some kind of giant spider. Lots of teeth. And then here is our war ape. Reminds me of the Congo with a giant club. Also 2 spaced. This guy looks like... I don't remember the look of the Chaos Sorcerer or the Dread Sorcerer now. We've got 3 of them in this green color. So some type of magic user looking person. Could the crystals be weird stones? Well, maybe. Maybe they could be. Is that's something actually from Games Workshop, though? Don't the Skaven use weird stones? So they probably... So this is just an Avalon Hill release, so it's probably not. I have a lot of things that I would need to build out in the coffee shop, so I wish I had more time to try to build this out. I mean, they will take building out different expansions. I mean, I would like to. Maybe there's somebody who would like to help with that. Because if we want to play it, especially if we got this choose your own adventure thing, we would need to build it out there and make it playable. Looks like a statue. Wizard looking guy with a bowl of flames. No dice in this one. All right, let's take a look at the cards so we understand what all this is. There's my water. Here we go. All right, here we are, popping open the cards. All right, we got dread magic. Okay, 2 dread spells. We've got new treasure cards. We've got new artifact cards. Hopefully you can hear me. Working on mic position here. Okay, alchemy cards, monster cards, hero cards, explorer skills, hero cards, berserker skills, hero cards. Okay, let's take a look at the hero cards first. I wonder if I have any memberships to give away. Let me see. I got to log into the right account. Let's see. Nope, I do not. I'm all out of free memberships for this month. All right. At least that means I remembered to give them out. Okay, so you are the Berserker, a powerful fighter who grows stronger as the odds become more dire. You know how to channel pain and fury into deft power. Because you like to get up close and personal in combat, you do not use ranged weapons. Oh, I like that picture. So starting weapon is the broadsword. This is attack dice 3, defend dice 2, body points 7, mind points 2. So very much like the barbarian, starting with a broadsword. So very similar to the barbarian. Not as many body points, so one less body point. So it's got to show the berserker has the body points of the dwarf. But there is berserker skills. So while we're looking at the berserker, let's just go and see what the berserker skills are. So here we are, berserker skills. Enrage. As an action, you may lose up to 2 body points to immediately make an attack. An additional attack dice equal to the number of body. Add additional attack dice equal to the number of body points you lose. May only be used once per quest. Okay, so as an action, you may lose up to 2 body points to immediately make an attack. I guess that means even not on your turn. Add additional attack dice equal to the number of body points you lose. Probably additional clarifications in the quest book. Retaliation. This skill cannot be used unless you have 5 or fewer body points. You may use this skill when you take damage from an adjacent monster. Immediately make an attack against that monster. May be used once per quest. Frenzy. This skill cannot be used unless you have 3 or fewer body points. As an action, you make a single sweeping attack against all monsters adjacent and diagonal to you. May only be used once per quest. Does that mean you roll once against all of them? So you start off with 7 body points. So if you want to get yourself down to 5, if you're just not taking damage, you can choose to enrage yourself. I guess that's like cutting yourself in order to specifically draw blood and reduce your power, reduce your body points to be able to do more damage. Interesting. You are the explorer, a tenacious adventurer with a knack for finding that which is hidden. You don't wear metal armor so as to nimbly avoid traps. Like the dwarf, you're able to disarm traps without the use of a toolkit. When you do so, roll a combat die. If you roll a black shield, you fail. On any other roll, you succeed. So explorer and berserker are like variations of the barbarian and dwarf. So explorer, attack dice 2, defend dice 2, body points 5, mind points 5. I believe that's more mind points than the dwarf has. The dwarf has 6 body points. No, 7. The dwarf starts with 7 body points. This one starts with 2 less. But we do have explorer skills. Let's see what the explorer skills are. Trapsmith. Once per turn, when you move onto a square adjacent to one or more traps, Zargon must alert you. Zargon does not, however, place the trap tiles on the board. The traps are still considered concealed and not triggered. So once per turn. Well, that sounds really good. Once per turn, when you move onto a square adjacent to one or more traps, Zargon must alert you. I guess this one just to keep up with. Is that something that the trapsmith or the explorer has to declare? Okay, once per turn, I'm moving here. Show me anything that I'm adjacent to, or as they're moving. Stop. No, wait a minute. When you stepped here, you were adjacent to a trap. I'm not sure. Has anybody been playing? Well, maybe there's clarification in the rule book as well. Right. But they have skills, right? So they're variations of barbarian and dwarf with a little bit less of the raw power, but they get these skills. Danger sense. Once per turn, when you draw a hazard card from the treasure deck, you may return that card to the bottom of the deck and draw a new card. Well, that's nice. And this once per turn is a lot. These aren't once per game. Like danger sense, I would have think that, once per game, being able to redraw a hazard card from the deck, that would be really good. But this is once per turn. I mean, how often are you going to be drawing more than one hazard card anyway? Right? I mean, you're only drawing a hazard card when you search for treasure, and searching for treasure is an action. So I question that. Once per turn, it seems like I can't think of a situation where I've ever drawn more than one hazard card on a turn. Can you? Treasure Hunter. Whenever you draw a card from the treasure deck that rewards you with gold coins, you find an additional 25 gold coins. I don't know. I have questions about all these different skills. So this one says, whenever you draw a card from the treasure deck that rewards you with gold coins, like there you can draw and get jewels. Okay, and they're worth a certain number of gold coins. Does this mean you get the 25 gold coins, or there are cards that are specifically just gold coins? I guess this is intended to be specifically just gold coins, not any time that somebody like rewards you with jewels or gems. So they're only that's fewer cards in that deck that actually reward you with straight gold coins. But I'm guessing that's the way it goes. If you have, that's whenever you draw. So you have to be searching and you have to draw the gold coin card. Is that intended to be the way that it is? So it is called Raptor. Look, okay, so we do have, it's actually called Raptor here. So this is our feathered raptor. A movement square of 8, attack dice of 2, defend 2, body points 3, mind points 3. And it says, with an asterisk by attack dice, the raptor may move before and after making an attack. Does that mean they're splitting their movement? Or does that mean they can move 8, attack 2, and then move 8 again? Are you having the same kinds of questions I am about the cards here? So movement 8 may move before and after an attack. It says the raptor is a faithful animal ally. They're bonded to one hero and take their turn immediately following the turn of their allied hero. They can move, attack, and defend, but cannot perform other actions or use potions. They have a unique talent for opening doors. They can open doors. That's very Jurassic Park-like, right? So the raptor can, in fact, open a door. The saber fang. Okay, so that other thing in there was a saber fang. The saber fang is a faithful animal ally. They're bounded to one hero and take their turn immediately following the turn of their allied hero. They can move, attack, and defend, but cannot perform other actions, use potions, or open doors. So saber fangs cannot open doors. Well, Mike says, I think that they can split movement. Moving a total of 16 would be a lot. Moving a total of 16 would be a tremendous amount on the HeroQuest board. So maybe it's splitting movement. Maybe it's splitting movement. Maybe it's not getting a second move, because that would be a lot. The saber fang moves unaffected through squares containing hindering terrain and revealed pit traps. So that's okay. So it's the cat-like. I wasn't exactly sure what the sculpt was. So this is the cat-like saber fang. So like a saber-toothed tiger. Moves 10, attacks 2. It says the saber fang may attack diagonally. Has 3 defend dice, 5 body points, and 1 mind point. So the raptor that can open doors has more mind points. What next? Hey, let's take a look. So what treasure cards are we adding in here? So we've got some treasure cards that we are adding into the game. Hazard. You find yourself drawn to a strange presence. You discover a figurine with wide, gleaming eyes. Kind of looks like the looks like a cross between the Deep One and Cthulhu here. So you discover a figurine with wide gleaming eyes. When you lock eyes with it, it emits a high-pitched shriek. Roll 1 red die for each of your mind points. If you roll a 6, you resist the effects. Otherwise, you lose 2 body points. Your turn immediately ends. Return this card to the bottom of the treasure deck. 2 body points is a lot on a hazard draw. So this is Ancient Dwarven Relic. Despite the passage of time, it's pristine. You discover one of Delthrak's forgotten treasures. This piece is elegant dwarven artistry that's worth 50 gold coins. Do not return this card to the treasure deck. Okay, so this is exactly what we're talking about. So where I'm looking at the special ability of the Explorer, this treasure hunter ability right here, whenever you draw a card from the treasure deck that rewards you with gold coins, you find an additional 25 gold coins. So this is the Ancient Dwarven Relic right here that is worth, ancient, elegant dwarven artistry that is worth 50 gold coins. Does that activate the treasure hunter's power? Would the treasure hunter get 75 if they found this? I'm going no, because this says whenever you draw a card from the treasure deck it says that rewards you with gold coins. Does this Ancient Dwarven Relic reward you with gold coins? I think I'm going no. But on the other hand, that may make this way too restrictive. Maybe the intention is for this to be yes. Mike says that I think it would as it rewards you with gold. See, so we were talking about this when we were talking about the re-release of HeroQuest. That in the end, I think they did the right thing about basically re-releasing the core game. But I would have cleaned it up because there are some things that are ambiguous in the text. And I would say that's another area of ambiguity. I'm not sure what... Whenever you draw a card from the treasure deck that provides a value in gold coins or has a gold coin value, receive an additional 25 gold. If it said something like that, then I would say, okay, definitely the Ancient Dwarven Relic has a gold coin value of 50 gold coins. So that counts. PH says there's an encounter in Ironhelm, which is almost exactly that shrieking idol in Ironhelm, the 10 game I talked about a while ago. I wonder which came first. I don't know. Yeah, Zero the Blade says, seems like the Explorer is set to be the treasure hunter instead of the combatant. And also, like, the limitation on wearing metal armor, right? Can't wear metal armor. This is also a treasure card. Emerald Heart of Delthrak. The jungles were once this shade of verdant green before the blight. This rare gemstone is prized by Delthrak's inhabitants and can be sold for 75 gold coins. Do not return this card to the treasure deck. Okay, once again, this one can be sold for 25 gold coins. I don't know. Hazard. What could be inside? You bend to examine a small thatched basket of gleaming trinkets. Suddenly, a large red centipede scuttles from the basket and leaps into your hand. Place a giant centipede spawning tile. You bend to examine a small thatched basket full of gleaming trinkets. Suddenly, a large red centipede scuttles out from the basket and leaps onto your hand. Place a giant centipede spawning tile on your character card. Your turn immediately ends. Return this card to the bottom of the treasure deck. We've got alchemy here. Oh, okay. So the alchemy deck or more potions. Okay, so alchemy deck, we've got Potion of Serpent's Blood. The consistency churns your stomach but works like a charm. Drink this potion to remove paralysis caused by venomous creatures for 50 gold coins. Spider Step Elixir. Something dark scuttles beside the glass. Best not to think about it. Scuttles inside the glass. Better not think about it. Drink this potion to move unaffected through squares containing revealed pit traps, hindering terrain, furniture, and monsters. This potion's effect ends when you suffer any amount of damage, 100 gold coins. So this one specifically says move over furniture. You know, we were talking about that as well. We were talking about the original re-release of the game. Can you move over furniture? There was some ambiguity in that, apparently, that we find out once we have the internet. And I never allowed or played with movement over furniture. Furniture changes the geometry of the room. This potion specifically says that you can move over furniture. So it seems like the interpretation that you cannot move over furniture might be the correct one here. And if you use this potion, then you can. You'd be able to move over furniture. Potion of Elder Wisdom. Your nerves settle instantly. You know you can do this. You drink this potion to recover any one hero spell or skill you have used. A hero may only use one of these potions per quest. 400 gold coins. 400 gold coins to get a spell back during a quest. Potion of Healing. A brilliantly glowing brew that tastes of home. Drink this potion to roll one red die. Drink this potion to roll one red die and restore that number of body points, not exceeding your body points total. One red die, so it could be one. Very random here. 1 through 6, but could be as many as 6. But it's 500 gold coins. 500 gold coins for a d6 roll of hit points back. Now let's look at dread spells. So 2 new dread spells here. Creeping Grasp. This spell may be cast on only one hero to ensnare them with vines. Place a grasping vine tile under the targeted hero. They must roll 1 combat die. If they roll a skull, they suffer 1 point of damage and are restrained by the vines, unable to move from that square. The targeted hero or another adjacent hero can spend an action to destroy the vines, freeing the ensnared hero. Channel Dread. This spell may be cast on any one hero to exhaust their life force. Roll 1 red die for each monster adjacent to the caster that can cast this spell. Add 1 point to the die roll. So roll 1 red die for each monster adjacent to the caster that can cast this spell. Add 1 point to the die total. On 1, 2, or 3, the hero resists the spell. On a 4 or 5, the hero loses 1 body point. If on a 6+, the hero loses 2 body points. So if you're surrounded by your allies, that becomes more difficult to resist. I'm going to hold the artifacts. That might be fun. Let's see what the new monsters are. All right, Blight Crawler. That's our giant spider creature here. So Blight Crawler. Movement square 7, attack dice 4. Defend dice 4, body points 3, and mind points 4. In tiny words here, tiny letters, we do have spawn, agile, and venomous. So it looks like they're trying to add some type of keywords on here. I guess those are explained in the book. Spawn, agile, and venomous. Okay, that magic user looking guy is a Blight Weaver. That is some tiny writing here at the bottom here. But they are move 7, attack 2, defend 2, body 1, mind 2. Each Blight Weaver may cast each of the following dread spells once per quest. Channel Dread and Creeping Grasp. Those were the 2 that we just looked at. So Blight Weavers can cast each once per quest. Move 7, Mike says they seem mighty. So yeah, and there are potentially a lot of them. Attack 2, defend 2. Only 1 body point though. But they do have magic. Giant Ape, move 8, attack 4, defend 3, body 7, mind 5. Oh, these are like the ogres. That talk about seeming mighty. Move 8, attack 4, defend 3, but body point 7. Body point 7. And in tiny, tiny writing down here, agile. It's got this agile keyword. That goblin with the boomerang is a goblin archer. Moves 10, attacks 2, defend 1, body points 1, mind points 1, but only attacks 2 against non-adjacent targets. The goblin archer rolls 1 attack die against adjacent targets. Raptor. The Raptor is move 8, attack 3, defend 2, body points 2, mind 3. I think that was the same as the hero version. But this one says clever tactician. So we're going to have to figure out what clever tactician is. The Serpent. Move 8, attack 4, defend 3, body point 6, lots of body points, mind 3, spawn and venomous. Skeleton Archer, move 6, attack 2, but only against non-adjacent targets. The Skeleton Archer rolls 1 attack die against adjacent targets, defends with 2, body points 1, and has no mind points. Okay, this is called, that thing with the skull that we saw on it, this thing is called a Skull Blight. Move 6, attack 3, defend 2, body 2, entangling roots is its special ability, like with its keyword. Okay, now Spawnling. Okay, so we saw something that says add a Spawnling tile. So here we got movement 3, attack 0, defend 0, body points 1. Venomous keyword as well as agile. If a hero ends their turn with a Spawnling tile on their card, they take 1 body point of damage for each Spawnling attached to them. This damage cannot be defended against. Okay. Let's look at these artifacts. Ember Wrought Diadem. Well, that's cool. This relic hums with barely restrained power. This ancient circlet is inset with a fiery red gem. It raises your maximum body points by 1 and grants you 1 additional defend die. May not be combined with the helmet. The Sapphire Skull. When shrouded in darkness, it emits a soft glow. This legendary relic is crafted from precious cobalt gemstone. It imbues you with the poise and assurance. When wielding this artifact, roll 2 attack dice against any 1 monster in your line of sight. When wielding this artifact, roll 2 attack dice against any 1 monster in line of sight. So it's like, I guess you hold it like a weapon? I guess. It says while wielding. Again, here we go. That's yeah, the creature tags are an interesting new set of mechanics. Yes, they are. And that's kind of like the system that I kind of wish that HeroQuest had set up in the beginning instead of being everything ad hoc. Like, what does it mean to wield this artifact? Does that mean that you have to, like, because in HeroQuest you don't have like hands, hand symbols or something. Charlie. Hey, welcome, Charlie. Good to see you. Bracers of the Wild. You slip on these and the rhythm of nature courses through you. Armor. These magical leather bracers grant you 1 additional defend die. While wearing these bracers, you move unaffected through squares containing furniture. There we go again. Furniture and hindering terrain. So it looks like we're going to get hindering terrain. You may also add 2 squares to your movement roll. Maybe combined with the helmet and or the shield. So this one with the bracers, because there was confusion about the bracers in the standard game, but this one specifically says maybe combined with the helmet and or the shield. Girdle of Might. Gems have been affixed to this coarse fabric. The enchanted girdle grants you 1 additional attack die on all non-ranged weapon attacks. May not be used by the wizard. Fang Warden Armlet. Your raptor friend nuzzles against the palm of your hand. Use this magical armlet to call forth a raptor animal ally. Okay, so that's how you get that. Only if the raptor is defeated. If the raptor is defeated, the armlet's power goes dormant. Its power replenishes if the hero completes 2 quests without its assistance. This artifact may only be used once per quest. Better do that early. If you have it, you might as well do that early. Bring in your raptor friend. Okay, where is our quest book? Here it is. So look at that. I mean, we got a lot of stuff in here. Peeking in from work, Charlie? All right, let's see. So Alchemist Shop up here. So yeah, we got, let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. The Alchemist Shop here. So we got those potions. Contents. The adventure continues. This quest pack follows our brave heroes as they traverse the perilous wilds of the jungle lands, home to the recent dwarven refugees of Kalar's Keep. The jungles of Delthrak, as they are called, were originally the dwarven people's ancestral home, but something nefarious looms beneath the leafy canopy, infecting the wilderness to its very roots. As with other expansions, this HeroQuest pack must be played with using the game system. The components included in this quest pack are described here in the following pages. To learn more about the monsters, see the monster cards and page 47 of the quest book. We do have fire, crystal cluster, and basin. We have got goblin. Okay, so that other goblin was a goblin warlock. We had 2 goblin archers in this book, and then one in this box, and then 1 goblin warlock. Okay, components. The plastic and cardboard environmental pieces in Jungles of Delthrak are listed below. Next to a certain components, you'll see symbols that represent these components on the quest map. Furniture and obstacles. Basin. The basin by itself represents a pool of water. Okay, when you need to place a crystal cluster or bonfire on the board, place the respective crystal miniature and fire miniature on top of the basin. So you want to paint it like water unless something else sits on top of it. Look ahead to learn more about the different mechanics for the pool of water, crystal cluster, and bonfire. Pool of water. The pool of water is represented by the basin alone. Creatures may move through the pool of water but may not end their turn occupying the same space as it. If a hero searches for treasure in an area containing a pool of water, they may choose to restore 1 body point instead of drawing from the treasure deck. The pool of water does not block line of sight. Okay, crystal clusters. The crystal cluster is represented by the crystal miniature placed on a basin. These crystals radiate dread energy. If a monster casts channel dread while adjacent to the crystal cluster, they add 1 to their value of the result. Okay, so that's like it's its own monster standing there. The crystal cluster can be attacked. It has 6 body points and cannot defend. If destroyed, remove the cluster from the game board. The crystal cluster blocks line of sight. Whereas we also have bonfire. The bonfire is represented by the fire miniature placed on a basin. Creatures may move through the bonfire, but may not end their turn occupying the same space as it. Any creature who moves through the bonfire must roll 1 combat die. If they roll a skull, they suffer 1 body point of damage. The bonfire does not block line of sight. We have a statue. Each statue is a relic heralding dire times. The statue blocks line of sight. Cardboard pieces. Carefully remove all cardboard pieces from the cardboard tile sheet. Note that the tile are double-sided. The front and back of many tiles are different. Hindering terrain types. We've talked about hindering terrain quite a bit. There are 3 types of hindering terrain: sand, web, and jungle. Each single square of hindering terrain costs heroes and other creatures, including monsters, 2 squares of movement to traverse. Oh, this isn't some type of weird fungi. It says this is a cocoon tile. So cocoon tile. These tiles represent cocoons, concentrations of webbing that may contain treasure or deadly surprises. A hero adjacent to a cocoon can spend an action to destroy it, which removes the obstacle from the board. Cocoons block line of sight and cannot be moved through. Grasping vine trap tiles. If found during a search, Zargon remarks the tile looks suspicious and points to the square where the trap is located without marking it with a tile or other component. Once the grasping tile trap has been discovered, a hero may attempt to jump or disarm the trap. So springing a grasping vines trap. If a hero steps into the square containing a grasping vine trap, the trap springs and vines lash around to attack them. The hero must roll 1 combat die. On a black and white shield, they successfully dodge the vines and must continue their movement. And may continue their movement. If they roll a skull, they suffer 1 body point of damage or are held in place by the vines. Their turn immediately ends. They cannot move from the square until they or another adjacent hero spends an additional action to destroy the vines. The hero is then freed and removed from the board. Venomous tiles. Place these tiles on the hero card if the hero fails to resist venom from a venomous monster. Spawnling tiles. Spawnling monsters can be encountered throughout the quests. A monster with a spawnling ability creates spawnlings of its own type. See more on spawnlings on page 48 for more information. We've got serpent spawnling, bright crawler spawnling, giant centipede spawnling. And then stranger tiles. Oh, okay. These tiles represent individuals the hero may meet in their travels. Strangers with no given statistics flee if attacked by a hero. If they flee, remove the tile from the board. Says monster rules. Some monsters in jungles of Delthrak possess special abilities. See page 48 for rules on the following monster abilities and keywords: agile, clever, tactician, entangling roots, venomous, spawn, and spawnling. Okay, we're getting to choose your path. Okay, so playing the quests. The quests in Jungles of Delthrak are generally played the same way as the quests in the HeroQuest game system. In the game system, heroes restore all body points and minds, as in the game system. The heroes restore all body and mind points between quests unless explicitly stated otherwise. There are a few gameplay differences in the Jungle of Delthrak outlined ahead. So we've got that we're using the doors here instead of the spiral staircase. Okay. We have introduced 2 new heroes. The group of heroes should not include duplicate heroes. All right. Choose your path. Unlike other quest packs, the Jungles of Delthrak won't always be played in order. The heroes will find opportunities to make choices between multiple quest paths. As in the HeroQuest system rules, heroes restore all body and mind points between quests unless noted otherwise. Okay. That didn't give us a whole lot of information, but okay, we're going to be going through these in different orders. Large monsters. A large monster takes up 2 squares. That monster can attack any creature in the surrounding 10 squares. They can use abilities such as spawn on the surrounding 10 squares. 3, 4, 5, 6. That implies that those monsters can attack diagonally, right? When a monster takes up 2 squares, that monster can attack any creature in the surrounding 10 squares. That would be include diagonally in this case. That's important to remember. Monsters in this quest pack may cast spells on heroes. Each monster may cast each spell they know once per quest, regardless if another monster has already cast that spell. Certain monsters have spells usable at will. In those cases, the listed spells are always available to cast as an action. And we're supposed to shuffle in the new treasure cards. Monsters without mind points. Spells that affect target's mind points may not be cast on monsters with no mind points. Unthreatened movement. Okay, so here we got a new movement rule. Okay, so we finally get, see, this is the more of the, okay, let's ad hoc. We're adding in new rules here as we go. So if there are no monsters active on the board, heroes may move unimpeded. Instead of rolling for movement, they may treat each red die as they would have rolled a 4. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Zero the Blade says, if we're able to go out of order, then the map must have multiple paths. The map might have multiple paths, or it could be like, did you find the certain object? If yes, then go, when you're then go to this quest over here to do something with that object. If you didn't, then go to this quest over here. It could be like that too. So for the first time in here, we're actually addressing unthreatened movement. Like, why wouldn't they have added something like that into the base game? Item exchange. A hero can pass a potion, artifact, weapon, or other item or piece of equipment to another hero if adjacent to that hero, and neither hero is adjacent to a monster. Players may also freely trade items between quests. Multi-phase enemies. Some powerful foes adopt new statistics as the heroes battle them. A monster who changes statistics is still considered the same monster for effects such as spells. A multi-phase enemy who receives healing will not revert to a previous phase. Hero death. We've got information. Yeah, that's a nice addition to move things along quicker. Yeah, especially since, as we've talked about so many times on this channel, that time isn't a factor in HeroQuest, so that you don't have time as a factor, which we kind of think is a problem. But since time isn't a factor, go ahead and let the heroes move a bit faster when there's no monsters on the board. I want to look at that with something like Fated Edge, defining, like, is this are we in combat, or are we in like the exploration phase? Okay, there are 3 modes of difficulty in this quest pack: standard, heroic, and story. This is regarding hero death. Standard. In standard mode, hero death proceeds as written in the HeroQuest game system rulebook. Heroic. In heroic mode, heroes do not die when their body points are reduced to 0, but instead are incapacitated. Replace that hero miniature with an equipment tile. At the start of the next hero's turn, they take a skull tile to represent being on the verge of death. If an incapacitated hero starts their turn with a skull tile in their possession, they die. Another hero can use an action to administer a healing potion to an incapacitated hero if they are on or adjacent to the incapacitated hero's equipment tile, so long as neither hero is adjacent to a monster. Incapacitated heroes can be healed in other manners as normal. When an incapacitated hero receives healing, they are brought back from the verge of death. That hero discards any skull tile they possess. Replace that equipment tile with a hero miniature. If they cannot occupy the square they were incapacitated on, place them as close as possible to that square. So that gives you a way to stop someone from going down, or, to someone who's gone down, to stop them from dying. Okay. But see, in HeroQuest, you can use some type of spell or a potion as soon as you die, which I think I would change. You've got to have used that before you take your final blow. But maybe you could change that if you wanted to do both. You could change that so that you never use things as you die, but then you are incapacitated. Maybe somebody else can come and help you. Story. In story mode, heroes become incapacitated as in heroic mode, but they do not take the skull tile. Incapacitated heroes gain 1 body point if Zargon has no active monsters and at least one other hero is not also capacitated. Wait, so incapacitated heroes gain 1 body point if Zargon has no monsters active and at least one other hero is not incapacitated. Oh, at least one other hero is not incapacitated. I thought it was going to, okay, if 2 or more of you are down, you got a problem. But as long as one of you is up, if all heroes are incapacitated, then they've died in the attempt to complete the quest, and rules proceed as written in the game system rulebook. Huh. So I wonder, standard, heroic, and story. Spellcasters and death, heroic and story mode only. If a hero spellcaster dies, they can immediately heal themselves by casting an available healing spell. Okay, so we talked about this. Okay, so this says, how do we adjudicate if a spellcaster has had a turn, right? Or has used that on their turn. So this says heroic and story mode only. If a hero spellcaster dies, they can immediately heal themselves by casting an available healing spell, regardless of whether they had previously used an action on their turn. Previously used in actions. That seems to imply that you had to have not done it on your turn that you just had. So that's much nicer. I wish this told me, is this standard mode, heroic mode? So how tough is this? Because we don't have a system for determining how tough a game, any particular quest is, right? Which I do wish we had. So should we be playing, is this going to be much tougher? So should we be playing heroic mode or story mode? I don't know. Animal allies. Animal allies are faithful companions who can be recruited at no cost to accompany a hero on a quest, as long as there are fewer than 4 hero players. Oh, as long as there are fewer than 4 hero players. The animal ally must be recruited before the quest begins. An animal ally is controlled by the player that recruited them. A hero can control only one animal ally at a time. The animal ally takes their turn immediately following the turn of the allied hero. They can move, attack, and defend, but cannot perform other actions, use potions, or open doors. An animal ally cannot use or carry equipment, artifacts, or treasure, or any other item that is explicitly stated, unless it's explicitly stated the item is for them. Any hero can use any action to administer one of their potions to an animal ally as an adjacent square, so long as neither is adjacent to a monster. If a hero with an animal ally dies during the quest, continue the quest. A hero with an animal ally dies if continues the quest controlled by the fallen hero's player until all heroes are defeated. Optional rule. They really brought out a lot here in HeroQuest, in this one, talking about some of the things that we talked about we wish had been addressed in the core rule book to begin with. Optional rule, order of play. A round is the sequence in which the heroes take their turns. After each hero player has taken their turn, the round ends. If there are monsters active on the board, the round includes Zargon and ends after Zargon completes their turn. Under the order of play optional rule, heroes may decide the order in which they take their turns in a round. Regardless of player order, Zargon takes their turn only after all heroes have taken their turns, as in the game system rulebook. So there's an optional rule that allows you to shuffle the turn order, which I know it seems like a lot of people do, right? It seems like I hear that quite a bit in comments, that we allow the heroes to shake up their turn order every turn. All right, let's see what Mentor has to tell us. A message from Mentor. Hail and well met, champions. I trust you have been well since we last spoke. You have traveled far and wide, through jeweled kingdoms and treacherous lands, and I see that you stand here before me. And I see as you stand before me now how your skills have flourished. Alas, with this most welcome homecoming comes a portent of dire omens. This ancient evil of Zargon has once again resurfaced, sending forth his minions to steal away an ancient dwarven relic in the heart of the wild jungle lands, the ember-wrought diadem. Oh, so we saw that artifact card. So that's what's been stolen. The diadem is a crown of legendary might. It was forged by a revered dwarven smith who used it to unite his people and to repel dangerous foes. The refugee dwarves of Kalar's Keep that had been sheltering in their ancestral strongholds in the thick of the jungle will do anything to recover their precious artifact. In the wake of this theft, the jungle has fallen prey to strange bioluminescent blight that ravages all living things, infesting them with crystalline growths and warping their nature. Lore Tome has revealed that it is linked to the theft of the ember-wrought diadem, but I'll need time to intervene. I'll need time to divine more information, and time is something we do not have. As we speak, the dread blight spreads. The longer we wait, the deeper it roots. Heroes, you must go to the treacherous jungles of Delthrak and investigate this foul blight. Your path forward is fraught with many dangers and deceptions. Dare you face slithering behemoths and corrupted terrors in the heart of the thicket? Brave the gaping maw of an awakened jungle? Though you will face ravenous beasts, lethal perils, and uncertain pitfalls, you might find stalwart allies, fantastic treasure, and untold riches all the way. Good luck to you, brave adventurers. Okay, and then the next up is the quests. So let's see. What have we got in the back here? Well, I do see, by the way, conclusion A. Won't read that. Oh, that's conclusion B. Conclusion C. So there are multiple ways for this to conclude. Monsters in the jungle. Monster notes. Okay, let's take a look at monster notes. Treasure and artifact reference. Design your own adventure. All right, let's take a look at the monster notes here. Ranged enemies. When Zargon has the option to place a monster on the board, they may place a standard monster or a ranged version of the same monster type. In this quest pack, that means skeletons and goblins. A ranged monster rolls attack dice equal to their standard attack score against non-adjacent targets. A ranged monster attack dice equal their standard attack score against any non-adjacent targets in their line of sight. If the target is adjacent, they roll one attack die. Oh, okay. What you're looking at on the card, right? So it's one less. Yeah, okay. I was like, no, they're supposed to roll more when they're not adjacent. But that is what that ultimately says, I think. More on spawnlings. If a hero ends their turn with a spawnling tile on their card, they take 1 body point of damage for each spawnling tile on their card. This damage cannot be defended against. They are small creatures and do not block line of sight. Special abilities. Some of the monsters and jungles of Delthrak have special abilities. Spawn. At the end of each hero's turn, each active monster with the spawn ability can do one of the following special actions. Create 1 new spawnling on an unoccupied square adjacent to the spawnling monster, if you have the corresponding tile available. Or take the movement of all active spawnlings of its type. Okay, for example, give me an example here. For example, say the heroes are fighting a serpent. At the end of the barbarian's turn, that serpent chooses to create a new spawnling. Place a serpent spawnling tile adjacent to the serpent miniature. The dwarf then takes his turn. At the end of the dwarf's turn, the serpent chooses to move all active spawnlings. Oh, this is spawn at the end of each hero's turn. Each active monster with the spawn ability can do one of the following actions. Create a new spawnling or take the movement of all active spawnlings of its types. This is after every hero's turn. Gotcha. So after the barbarian's turn, the serpent spawns. Place a serpent spawning tile adjacent to the serpent miniature. The dwarf then takes his turn. At the end of the dwarf's turn, the serpent chooses to move all active spawnlings and is able to move the new spawnling tile into the square occupied by the elf. The spawnling tile is placed on the elf's hero card. Now, at the end of the elf's turn, they will take 1 body point of damage from that spawnling. Okay. Venomous. If a hero takes damage from a venomous creature, they become paralyzed. While paralyzed, they are unable to take their movement but may still perform actions. The hero can end the effect once by rolling one red die. At once by rolling one red die. On a roll of 5 or 6, they resist the venom. Otherwise, place a venom token on the hero's card. The effect ends at the end of their next turn. Agile. We saw Agile quite a bit. Agile says, these monsters can move unaffected through squares containing hindering terrain, furniture, and heroes as if they were not there. Okay, so that's what Agile is. Unaffected through squares containing hindering terrain, furniture, and heroes. So heroes, that's important too. They can move through heroes. Clever Tactician. These monsters may move before and after taking an action. They roll one additional attack die when targeting a hero adjacent or diagonal to another monster. So that's what we were just talking about. Like, that seems to say the hero may move before and after taking an action. Do they get to? This is very much Jurassic Park with these raptors. Mike says, seems that spawnlings can get quickly out of control. The raptor, at least the bad guy version of the raptor, yes, is Clever Tactician. So it just says may move before and after taking an action. It doesn't say, to me, that allows them to move 16, which is a lot, but that seems to be the way that is. They may move before, like take a move before and after. They roll one additional attack die when targeting a hero adjacent or diagonal to another monster. That would have them attack with 4. So that's, what was the guy they took out in Jurassic Park like that? Clever girl. Mike says, seems that spawnlings can quickly get out of control. It sounds like they might. How do you get the spawnlings off? Did we read that? I think I would have wanted that around here. How do you get a spawnling off? Does it take like your action to get them off? Raptors seem like they can move a lot. Yeah. Entangling Roots. If a hero enters a square adjacent to a monster with this ability, their movement immediately ends. Obstructions such as walls and closed doors block this effect. A hero may not enter a square with this effect that they could not enter. A hero may not enter a square with this effect that they could not end their movement on. More monsters. Skull Blight. These shambling undead beings are animated by the dread blight. Some are former inhabitants of the jungle who may have fallen defending it. They can be destroyed by holy water. I didn't see holy water. Blight Weaver. Dread cultists who cultivate and spread the dread blight. They'll do anything to expand their master's reach. Blight Crawler. These foul creatures are born of dead sorcery and harbor a fierce hatred for the living. Their dagger-like teeth secrete paralyzing venom, and they're able to quickly produce skittering spawn. I think that's what you were talking about, Mike. Oh, you attack them? Well, I'm not sure it doesn't say there. Serpent found in lowland swamps in the dense underbrush of the jungle. These viviparous, viviparous. Viviparous. I don't know that word. Creatures are venomous and quick. Let's look it up. This means an adjective from zoology, bringing forth live young that have developed inside the body of the parent. Oh, okay. I guess that's the spawning then. Venomous and quick. The dread blight has warped their nature, causing them to viciously attack all they see. Raptor. These fierce and deadly creatures are native to the jungles of Delthrak. The dread blight has warped their nature, causing them to viciously attack all they see. Spawnling. These small bloodthirsty creatures are the spawn of treacherous monsters of the jungle land and have several varieties. They latch onto unsuspecting passers-by. Giant ape. These creatures can jump distances and are known to leap down into the unsuspecting prey. The dread blight has warped their nature, causing them to viciously attack all they see. Well, neat. Okay, yeah, live bearing. So that's, yeah. Live young bearing. Does not lay eggs. Okay, well, cool. So I am interested. I'm interested in knowing how that works. I like the like some kind of adventure web, choose your own adventure. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. We might have to. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to be able to play some more. Lots of HeroQuest still to play. Lots of HeroQuest to play, and it would be fun to be able to play these on dinner and board game too. Sure, would be nice to actually have a lot more time and be able to do all of these things again. All right. Well, thank you very much to Kent and Avalon Hill for sending this out. This does the jungle theme is not one that I would have necessarily picked up in the beginning, but it does seem like this is a pretty good expansion, as Mike says. I would probably, I think I would, I know I would definitely play this. It sounds like before playing Spirit Queen's Torment or Prophecy of Telor. It seems like I don't know what like official order there is in playing, but if I'd played a bunch of HeroQuest and we're like, all right, we need something, we want to play more. Do we play more of basically the same with Spirit Queen or Prophecy of Telor, or do you move into one of these other larger expansions? This one would be high on the list. Of course, Mage in the Mirror against the Ogre Horde, the Frozen Heart, all of I'm looking at this now, all of the larger boxed expansions. Now, Return of the Witch Lord is classic because I like Return of the Witch Lord because it actually expands the expands on the Witch Lord saga from the original quest. So I do like Return of the Witch Lord. I don't remember enough about Killar's Keep, its quests, but again, there's only so much gaming time. There's so much HeroQuest and only so much gaming time. So yeah, I would say let's Rise the Dreadmoon. This is Jungles of Telor right here. I would end up putting this one higher on the list, even though it's not a theme I would have thought about, like a jungle theme. There's some people were like, is this kind of like the Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones themed box? And I guess it kind of is. But it had a lot of Jurassic Park in it. And it also reminds me, it wasn't that Congo that had the giant apes when they were looking for the crystals? Wasn't there something to do with that? There was the crystal. I believe it was called Congo. The movie was Congo, when they were looking for crystals to power some satellite, and the monsters, the big gigantic apes, had it. That was like warping them or something like that. So I see the inspirations from a variety of different things. Actually, not quite so much, I guess. Well, there was an idol in there. So I don't know. Sounds fun. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I have enjoyed it. I always enjoy doing unboxings and the initial impressions and things like that. I have got a lot of work to do. I've got to look at art. I've got to write, of course, as always. I've got to look at art coming in for the Cultist RPG. I need to build that out. I need to contact. I'm going to contact a new sculptor about some of these Cultist miniatures, although it may have to be another week before I do that, because I want to see if they can. I want to see what else I can do with them, and I want to make sure that they're suitable for printing. So I got to send those to another sculptor. So maybe we can catch up with all that on Sunday. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Go forth, be creative, be constructive, and make something amazing. I'm going to try. Later, everybody.